like a mime. It's fine. What's up, fellow weirdos of the internet, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Ray Roddingwell, and I'm a special effects artist, costume designer, and character actor, and I'm here to talk about my favorite things. I hope everybody is being safe, doing well during this whole crazy pandemic that's going on, and I hope that my videos are helping you keep from being extremely bored and maybe will spark some creativity for you so you can work on some looks and be proactive and productive during this time of self-isolation and quarantine, because I'm feeling very cooped up. In today's video, we are going into part number 3 of my character designing series. If you've missed part 1 and 2, fear not, I will have them linked in the description down below so you can check those out. But these aren't really in a certain type of order, it's just the way that I am throwing them out on the internet. So part 3 is, and one of the most important parts, in my opinion, is the backstory. If you work in the haunt industry, you know all about the hecklers and all of the things that your guests try to say to either like throw you off or piss you off or get you to break character. It's for some reason very fun for them, and I don't understand why. But when you have a very thorough and very detailed backstory, it makes it harder for them to stump you because you already have everything so thought out. So whatever possible question or remark they could say to you, you already know exactly what you want to say back to it because you already have it embedded in your backstory. One of the important questions that I have asked myself during my backstory process is, do you want your audience to be scared, have empathy, or both for your character? Obviously you want your characters to look scary, but do you want their backstory to make them even more scared, or do you want their backstory to almost give a little bit of empathy to your audience? I like it when my audience can connect with my characters. Like, there's a little bit of monster in every human, and there's a little bit of human in every monster. For example, with Helga, her backstory has a lot to do with bullying and sticking up for people, which growing up would have been really great for me to have because I was bullied a lot. So I sort of used my childhood trauma to create Helga as almost an advocate for sticking up for the weirdos. So there's a little bit of empathy for that character. You sort of look up to that character, but she's a little bit scary, so you don't really want to stay around for too long. And with Kit is still a little bit of a work in progress when it comes to her backstory. I haven't had a ton of time to really sit down and figure out every little detail for her, but the gist of her story is I wanted to invoke a lot of malpractice, unfit nurses, creepy doctors, and basically living in a world where all of your symptoms are kind of just like shoved away, and they just, here's some medication, here's a padded cell to be in, and you're kind of forgotten by society. So I like to try to make a little bit of people can relate to these characters, but they're still a little bit scared of them. You need to be consistent with the time period that you have put your character in. Do as much research as you can as far as like politics that went on at that time, laws, rules, if you had a female character that was set in a very far back time period, certain rules and restrictions and laws that they had set in place so that they didn't have really a lot of rights and couldn't really do much. Will that cause your character to feel some type of way to do something that caused your character to get to where they are right now? Things like that. All of these little tiny details are really, really important. So make sure that when you're having a character set in a certain time period that's not present day, that you do as much research about that time period as you possibly can. And then you want to make sure that you are giving out as much detail about your character as possible. Where they grew up, did they have parents, were they orphans, were they born with some deformity, what kind of trauma did they go through, their likes, their dislikes, do they have any skills, as much tiny information as you can. With Helga, I made her be a circus performer, and she was a juggler, so I learned how to juggle. There's a lot of really small details that you can add to your character design and their backstory that you can also turn into a skill for yourself. I had a demon character, and I learned 2 Latin phrases.
Ego ibo mantugaro visharibus.
I probably butchered them, but that's the way they sounded on Google Translate. I memorized those 2, and I I learned some Latin from it, so that was cool. I think I might teach Kit some sign language because she's got that thing in her mouth, so she can't really talk. So she had to find some other way of communication. So I think I might try to learn some phrases in sign language. So that would be kind of cool. And then once you have those key elements down, you can really, I mean, the possibilities for what your character backstory could be is absolutely endless. There's an actor that works at a haunt. I'm not exactly sure which haunt it is, but her name is Ashley. I will leave the name of the haunt and all that in the description below or somewhere. But she made a character that was so cool, and the backstory to her that was released about this character was just amazing. She had a character named Quake, and oh my god, just it's so cool. I'm gonna see if I can get permission to have a photo of her on here and everything, because it's so cool. The moral of the story is having an epic backstory to a character will make them infinitely cooler. It will make your acting so much easier. Your improv will get better because you'll have so much information that you can rely on when it comes to talking to patrons and figuring out how you want your characters to be. Having that backstory really helps fill in those gaps. So definitely a very, very big, important part of character design, and one of my favorites, hands down. That pretty much does it for this video. I really hope that it helps you with your journey for character design. Haunt season really isn't right around the corner. Well, it is like almost 6 months away, so thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy me, if you enjoy my channel, please subscribe and like this video. You can leave a comment and make sure you press the notification bell so you never miss a single video. Thank you guys. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video.